I just bought this new Hangkai 3.5 horse engine for my boat, and I'm trying to, it came in parts. It didn't come put together like the ones I've seen on the internet, and you know, I've seen some unboxings of these and it seems like the motor was all put together, everything's packaged nice. Well, this come in a box with two boxes in it, and it had the head on one in one box, and it had the shaft in the other. What I think is going on here is these idiots in China sent me the wrong cap, or sent the wrong cap on this, couldn't get it together, and just thought, well, we'll just throw it in a box and let them deal with it. So I'm going to go ahead and try to make heads or tails of this and fix it myself. But the reason I'm making this video is just in case anybody else is a victim of this nonsense. They can at least see what I've ran into and maybe some ways to deal with it, as far as, you know, keeping it and making it usable. Okay, so this line here, you know, for one thing, it's also a lot longer than it needs to be and gets, you know, all bangled up in here. So I'm going to fit this line to better suit this cover. Also, on this part of the cap that will have to go back up against, you know, and cover all that, it doesn't have the cutout for this shaft coming up. So I'm going to have to cut this up so that I can get it. I had to, in this process, I've had to take this what I only assume is an exhaust loose, just to even get this cap off. And I was expected to have to know all this without any instructions. Of course, the up here is the throttle cable. They don't give you any instructions on how that works. You just, luckily there's some YouTube videos out there of cleaning these silly things. So I'll learn to hook that up as I go. But I'm gonna try to just make sure that, you know, I've always been appreciated that YouTube had videos on there for problems that I've run into, and I couldn't find anything on this issue. So I just wanted to make this video so that somebody else may have access to some knowledge that they may need. Now, of course, this whole head wasn't even on here. I had to, there's 6 bolts down here with a gasket, and you have to, you know, get that shaft down on there, and this thing, copper tube, was even bent and wouldn't, I had to bend it myself to get it to come straight up through this this hole here that's provided for it. So I'm going to have to you know, get this line hooked up in here. I'm going to have to get this chewed out a way so that I can get this up here where it'll cover it, you know, put back my exhaust pipe here, and then I'll get back with you. Okay, now I have this water line installed. Took off about, let's see, right here, a good 2 inches of unnecessary tubing on it. I should have been thinking about saving their pennies there instead of in the cheap way they, you know, send these things. I'll get back to you when I get some other parts done. Okay, I'm also noticing that because they had that that line, that water line coming out this side, if you can see it here, it's right in this area here. It still bunches up with the area here, and it looks like that they tried to cut around this anyway. I'm going to have to whittle out some more of this just to make so that this is not pinched in here. I'm going to have to whittle out some of this area in here so this water line doesn't get pinched. Okay, I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, I think I've got this housing usable, the water line hooked up. from up here in the motor area down here to the copper wire that goes down into the lower unit, and it looks like it's got the bend that it needs to, you know, to flow. I was able to chisel it out down here a little bit so that this would go up, you know, go ahead and fit where it needs to be, despite this line being here that wasn't accounted for with this cap. So I don't know if this cap belongs with this or not, but it's working as far as, you know, being able to get to the spark plug and it. A lot of them are the same here. Now here is the exhaust that I'm going to have to rehook up. I'll put that in that hole. Okay, now I've rehooked up the exhaust pipe here that goes out here. I guess it finds a way out down there too. And it's a little shield here. So I've got this stuff hooked back together. This goes to the kill switch. I'll have to try to figure out this. I'll have to put half the motor back. I'll have to put half the motor back on over here, run this line through there, and then come up to hook to there. Alright, hooking up this throttle cable is going to be guesswork. Now it has kind of a stop here, and I'm assuming that that's designed for it to, you know, this screw right here puts a stop to this. Let me show you how that functions. That turns like that, and I'm assuming that it's in the proper position when that's barely touching that, but there's no way to know. So I'm just going to have to try it out like that, and if I have any issues with it later, I'll just take this cap off and make that adjustment. It's pretty simple. You just, you know, I can pull this. Right now I'm pulling, this is coming further away, so I'm putting it, it's right up against the edge of that right now, and then I can just lock that nut in and then just turn my gas, and that's what movement I get. Now if I were to back this off, I could get this to come further around this way, but it won't go closer to that screw, so I'm just assuming that screw is the set. So I'll let you know if there's any problem with that. Okay, FYI, I forgot that this kill switch is on, I don't know what side you want to call it, but it was on the side I had already put on, and you can see right here the little prongs where these hook up, and I'm assuming that it doesn't matter which is which because they don't have any color codes. So I'm just going to hook those up and then reinstall this side of the cap